Obtain the God of Glory Check.in system in the face of adversity in life. There is a reward for signing in. Successful Check.in. Get a reward for a set of Junior Smart Luxury homes. Successful Check.in. Reward Hawaii Island Estate. Successful Check.in. Get a reward for one Alpine Castle. Starting from Check.in, Zhao Feng found that his life was becoming more and more colorful. From now on, my life is not just about luxury cars and houses. And the Starry Sea. Reader Group Number 749421309 Keywords of the novel. Shenhao starts from Check.in without pop-ups. Shenhao starts from Check.in with full download of TXT. Shenhao starts from Check.in with the latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Shenhao Check-in System. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 1 Shenhao Check-in System. Dong dong dong, a crazy knock on the door rang out. Zhao Feng, who was startled out of his sleep by the knocking on the door, quickly got up from bed. Zhao Feng, who is accustomed to sleeping naked, put on shorts. I casually took a short sleeve and walked towards the door with a pair of flip-flops on my feet. Just put on the short sleeves, Zhao Feng's hand hasn't touched the doorknob yet. A familiar roar came from outside the door. Zhao Feng, if you don't pay the rent today, hurry up and get rid of me. You have the ability to rent a house, do you have the ability to open the door? You have the ability. Lying trough. This tiger-like voice, no need to listen, I guess it's the short and burly female landlord. The image of the female landlord came to mind, and Zhao Feng quickly shook his head. I dare not think. I dare not think. After checking the date, it's only been a week since the rent payment date. Within this week, the female landlord came over every other day to urge her. It's so damn. What's even more terrifying is that perhaps Zhao Feng's handsome appearance and good body proportions could barely be considered a little handsome guy, which attracted the landlord's aunt. As a result, the second time the landlord's aunt came to urge the rent. That scene. Zhao Feng still remembers clearly now. The landlady's aunt grinned and revealed her crooked and slightly yellow teeth. She smiled and patted Zhao Feng's shoulder, saying, Xiao Zhao. If you can't raise the rent, Auntie can help you think of a way. As she spoke, the landlady's hand touched the biceps under her arm along her shoulder. Zhao Feng's hair stood on end. It's simply too scary. At that time, I forced a smile and said directly, Auntie, this way, I will definitely make it together in 2 days. The landlord's aunt may have thought she wanted to leave a good impression on Zhao Feng, so she didn't bother. But these past few days, she has become increasingly excessive. Zhao Feng felt that the landlord's mother was just craving for her body. Pooh. MMP. Speaking of which, God knows how unlucky Zhao Feng is. After graduation, I worked in my first job for over a year, earning a monthly salary of just over 5,000 yuan. As a result, my rent was around 2,000 yuan per month, and my daily expenses added up to around 1,500 yuan. In terms of social activities, such as occasional gatherings with colleagues, and occasional gatherings with good college friends, even if I dropped out of AA, my monthly salary was nearly 500 to 600 yuan. If I happened to have more, it would be even less than 1,000 yuan. This is only 4,000 yuan, and I can save around 1,000 yuan per month. After more than a year, I barely have a deposit of about 10,000 yuan. In September, my mother called and said that our family was planning to buy a house for Zhao Feng in the city. Our family had a deposit of about 180,000 yuan, and the down payment was a full 200,000 yuan. After the discount, there was still more than 10,000 yuan left. Okay, after all, I bought a house for myself, and my mom has already made a statement. The old couple helped me pay off the mortgage on this newly purchased house for a decade. After all, in the old Zhao family, Zhao Feng was an only child. Even if he had to pay for it now, the house would still be his own in the future. So, Zhao Feng directly deposited over 10,000 yuan. As a result, this became a turning point in Zhao Feng's luck. After making money at home and working safely for a week, the company suddenly went bankrupt and liquidated. Almost all the lower-level employees, including Zhao Feng, are confused. But what's the solution? So, Zhao Feng continued to look for a job, and this time it went smoothly. As a programmer, it was not difficult for Zhao Feng to find a job, but this time he just found a job in system maintenance, and the company was directly shut down by the police comrades. Turns out the company is actually an online fraud company. Except for Zhao Feng's system development and maintenance department and product production department, almost everyone else was taken away by the police. As for the salary after working for over a month, naturally there is no such thing. So, Zhao Feng, who had lost his job again, couldn't find a suitable job for a while. In the past half-month, Zhao Feng has also looked for many companies, but there has been no suitable one. Thinking of this, Zhao Feng couldn't help but feel sad. I couldn't help but look up at the ceiling. With a finger out, he silently cursed, "Thief, do you dare to be a little more promiscuous?" Perhaps it's because of the power of this curse. It's also possible that the landlady outside the door is scolding and getting tired. Listening to the sound of heavy footsteps, it sounded like going upstairs. Hey! Speaking of which, although Zhao Feng doesn't want his landlady to crave his body, he still quite envies her. At least the landlord's mother demolished 8 houses in her own building. 3 of them are small apartments with an area of 40.50 square meters, while the other 5 are 2-bedroom apartments with an area of 70.80 square meters. The rent for one's own small apartment is 2,000 yuan, and if the other 2 bedrooms are shared, one person will get 1,500 yuan. So many can be combined for a rent of 20,000 yuan. It's 4 times my own salary. However, although this is considered a suburb of the Magic City, in comparison, the rent here is only considered not high or low. In his mind, almost for an instant, Zhao Feng thought so much that he was grateful that his mind did not crash due to high-speed operation. Confirm that the landlady outside the door has already left. Zhao Feng let out a sigh of relief. Turn around and walk towards the house. At this moment, Zhao Feng suddenly heard a ding sound in his mind. Just when Zhao Feng suspected whether he had hallucinations. Suddenly, a crisp lowly sound came to my mind. Congratulations on obtaining the Shenhao Check-in system. You can sign in every day and receive any rewards. May I ask if the host has checked in today? Zhao Feng was taken aback at the words. It seems like it's not a hallucination, right? Just as Zhao Feng was stunned, the system's Luolian rang out again. May I ask if the host has checked in for today? Having experienced the bombardment of online articles, Zhao Feng immediately judged that he was not hallucinating. Besides, even if it's a hallucination, it's okay to try to agree on your own. Thinking of this, Zhao Feng trembled and said to the void in front of him, "Sign in." System. Successful check.in. Congratulations to the host for receiving the beginner gift pack. Upon hearing this, Zhao Feng seemed to be truly not hallucinating. What newbie gift package? He asked into the void. The sound of the system rang out. The host does not need to make a sound, and the system can also receive it silently in the mind. Afterwards, the system continued, "May I ask if the host has opened the beginner gift package?" Upon hearing this, Zhao Feng suddenly remembered the self-introduction of the system just now, which was the Shenhao Check-in system. Directly recite. Open the beginner's gift pack. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhao Feng noticed a strange scene appearing in front of him. A deep blue system screen appeared in front of me, just like the black technology seen in movies. In the deep blue screen, beneath Zhao Feng's portrait, there is a seemingly large space. A red gift package is located in between. A flash of light flashed by. System. Congratulations to the host for obtaining a primary intelligent top-level duplex property set from Tang Chen. End of this chapter. 2. Chapter 2. A set of entry-level intelligent luxury homes for Tang Chen. Dear everyone. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 2. Tang Chen's first-class junior intelligent luxury house set. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. P.S. For the sake of the author June's update on New Year's Eve, please find a recommendation ticket. 666 People who work in the Magic City have heard more or less about the Tang Chen First Class located near the Magic City Financial Center and Binjiang Avenue. After all, this is one of the top 10 luxury houses in summer. Under excitement. Zhao Feng looked at the file bag in the space of the system interface in front of him. A movement of thought. The archive bag appears directly in one's own hands. After opening the file bag, there are some introductions about the entry-level intelligent duplex luxury homes of Tang Chen's first grade, as well as purchase contracts, as well as the most important property certificates, access cards, and so on. Upon opening and examining them the same way, Zhao Feng suddenly realized that the small red books on these contracts and property certificates were indeed his own names. Cowhide, broken sound. Zhao Feng shouted excitedly. It's impossible to say you're not excited. At this moment, the bottle system interface in front of Zhao Feng suddenly flashed. Instead, a real-life view of Tangchen EP1-10, located next to the Magic City Financial Center and Binjiang Avenue, appeared. The effect looked like a holographic image. Zhao Feng checked the property certificate. The luxury mansion marked above is located in one of the 43-story large duplex buildings, with 8 bedrooms and 3 living rooms, totaling 767 square meters. The price is over 200 million yuan. When Zhao Feng saw the price, he almost suffocated. More than 200 million luxury homes with sleeping slots. Have you become the owner of such a luxurious mansion? Zhao Feng's heart was full of disbelief. I originally wanted to fool lunch with instant noodles. But Zhao Feng, who was emotionally excited, still wanted to have lunch. Now Zhao Feng's heart was filled with thoughts of constantly taking a look at his mansion. Just say go and leave. Zhao Feng chose his best and most formal suit to wear. But for some reason, wearing a suit with messy hair always makes me feel a bit out of place. Zhao Feng simply threw down his suit and changed into his usual casual attire, which became much more pleasing to the eye. I'm too lazy to worry too much. After looking outside, the landlord's aunt was indeed not there. Immediately put the file bag into your backpack and left the house. I took a taxi at the entrance of the community and glanced at the driver. The driver said directly, Master, go to Tangchen EP1-10. The taxi driver thought he heard it wrong. Looking back, I noticed that Zhao Feng had no intention of correcting it, so I directly started the car and drove towards Tangchen EP1-10. In the eyes of the driver, Zhao Feng, dressed in ordinary clothes, should want to go and see the super luxurious mansion of Tangchen EP1-10. I didn't say much along the way. Because it is during noon, there are also many cars on the road. After arriving at the first grade of Tang Chen, it was already an hour later. Zhao Feng looked at the time and it was indeed 2:12 p.m. Stopping outside the door of Tang Chen's first grade, Zhao Feng got off the car with a backpack in hand. The taxi driver looks quite lively, but unfortunately we can't park here. Zhao Feng doesn't know the taxi driver's thoughts. Glancing at Tangchen EP1-10. After calling out the system interface and confirming the existence of the system, he strode towards the entrance of Tangchen EP1-10. There are security guards and property management personnel on duty at the entrance of Tangchen First Class throughout the year. When Zhao Feng walked to the door, the property personnel inside the door looked at him and quickly approached, saying, Hello, sir. Please. The property management originally intended to say, Please stop. But I didn't expect Zhao Feng to directly take the exit card and put it on the card reader at the door. Ding. The green light on the card reader lights up, and then the tightly closed door opens directly. The property owner was also extremely surprised in his heart, but his good manners made him instantly change his mind and say, "Please come with me." Zhao Feng nodded with a smile on his face. Glancing at Zhao Feng's attire again, the property manager sighed in his heart and respectfully said, "Sir, you're going to a building, right?" Zhao Feng nodded again with a smile on his face. The property management suddenly felt like a spring breeze. There aren't many people who are so wealthy and approachable. If Zhao Feng knew his thoughts, he knew he had thought too much. He was purely happy. Okay. The property management escorted Zhao Feng to the entrance of a building and stopped, saying, "Sir, there is our butler in the building. If you have anything to do, please feel free to give orders." Zhao Feng nodded again and said, "Thank you." The property management was pleasantly surprised and reached out, "Please." As Zhao Feng walked in, the property management breathed a sigh of relief. After the departure of the property management and Zhao Feng, the two security guards on the left side of the gate exchanged a glance. Are these wealthy people so low-key now? Isn't it? It's hidden too deep. Fortunately, Shaoli didn't say anything nonsense. Otherwise, if we treat people with looks, wouldn't we be in trouble today? Right, right. It seems that we must take a closer look in the future. Zhao Feng walked into the door and a middle-aged man in a neat suit walked up, slightly bowing and saying, "Sir. Welcome home." Nodding at him. Subsequently, Zhao Feng followed him up the stairs and informed the butler of the floor location. Not long after, the elevator reached the 43rd floor. The butler helped open the elevator door. Zhao Feng followed him out of the elevator and looked at the door facing him. Zhao Feng was about to come forward and open the door with his access card. I heard the butler beside me respectfully say, "Sir, is this your first time living here?" As a butler, he naturally knew all the residents here, but Zhao Feng was something he had never seen before. It was out of duty that he asked this question. Zhao Feng looked at the butler in confusion and immediately asked, "Yes. What's up?" Upon hearing this, the butler hurriedly said, "Sir, as this is your first time living here, please allow me to introduce the services our property can provide for you. I hope we can help you in the future." Upon hearing this, Zhao Feng sighed inwardly. The property services are really complete. However, he still spoke up and said, "I'll trouble you." The butler smiled and said, "No trouble. Sir. Our property can provide you with 24-hour concierge service, 24-hour security service, personalized personal butler service, cleaning and hygiene service, official and business services, as well as leisure, fitness, swimming, sauna, SPA, and private banquets. This is my business card. If you need it, just contact me." Zhao Feng took the business card and glanced at the name on it. Wang Cheng. Then the butler smiled and said, "Sir, I won't disturb you anymore. Wishing you a happy life." Zhao Feng casually raised his hand, then put away his business card and turned towards the door of his own mansion. Zhao Feng had just walked to the door when the door slammed open. Now it startled me directly. Zhao Feng thought there was someone inside the house. After the door opened, an electronic speaker sounded, "Welcome back, master." Upon hearing this, Zhao Feng hesitated for a moment before stepping into the door. After Zhao Feng walked into the door, he looked at the decoration of the room, which was simple yet luxurious with a sense of science fiction, which made Zhao Feng quite fond of it. Walking to the position of the sofa, Zhao Feng's mind was filled with countless question marks. Subsequently, the system in my mind seemed to sense Zhao Feng's question and gave a quick answer. The answer is the 4 words, basic intelligence, in the name when obtaining a luxury house. These 4 words represent a smart home system that has surpassed the current top level of artificial intelligence by 10 years, and the system can take over the smart home in this house at any time. After reading the system's explanation, Zhao Feng began to inspect this house, which belonged to him and could be called the Black Technology Mansion. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Nightmares. On the first day of the Lunar New Year, I still insist on updating and seeking. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Nightmares. On the first day of the Lunar New Year, I still insist on updating, seeking collections, investments, and recommended tickets. Sitting on the central sofa in the huge and luxurious living room. Glancing around for a week, Zhao Feng noticed that almost all the household appliances in the room were luxury brand smart appliances. Getting up and walking towards the balcony on the south side of the hall, looking at the spacious balcony and the distant river, Zhao Feng felt quite satisfied in his heart for a moment. Next, Zhao Feng casually inspected the house. The exclamation never stopped. There are many things in this house that he has never heard of or seen before. I have been circling inside the house for 2 times, during which Zhao Feng couldn't even close his mouth with a smile. After finally feeling thirsty, Zhao Feng walked to the water dispenser in the living room. Just as he was about to reach out to fetch water, he saw the water dispenser sink flip over and a cup of water steadily parked on top of it. Then the water slowly flowed down, and soon a cup of water was collected. Zhao Feng was startled to see this scene. I picked up my water glass and took a sip, but the temperature happened to be around 40 degrees Celsius, which I am quite accustomed to. I'll go. With widened eyes, Zhao Feng suddenly remembered the basic intelligence previously annotated by the system. The system was very thoughtful and introduced to Zhao Feng in his mind. Zhao Feng now truly understands the value of this property. Sitting back on the sofa, looking at the gray wall in front of him, he ordered directly, "Watch a movie, Red Sea." As soon as the words fell, the wall in front of me suddenly lit up, and the movie scene slowly unfolded. Turns out this is not an industrial-style wall design, it's just a screen that can change its style. Moreover, the entire wall is a screen. When it wasn't turned on just now, no one could tell the difference between the screen and the wall. Zhao Feng, who already enjoyed watching movies, once again had a strong smile on his face. Besides cowhide, I don't know what to say anymore. Gollum. I watched the movie for a while. Zhao Feng forgot that he hadn't eaten anything for lunch yet. After thinking for a moment, Zhao Feng picked up his phone and ordered a takeout. Quickly, the delivery guy delivered the delivery. However, at the entrance and downstairs, the delivery guy was stunned and his package was checked twice. After making up for lunch, Zhao Feng packed the lunchbox and threw it into the trash can. Zhao Feng is still afraid that the soup and water in this lunchbox will dirty his trash can. It's not Zhao Feng's affectation, he just hasn't changed his mind all of a sudden. In his previous thinking, if it gets dirty, he has to wash it himself. But when Zhao Feng opened the lid of the trash can, he found that the food box inside had turned into a box covered with craft paper. Judging from the firmness of the craft paper, it was unlikely to spill out. Besides these, this house did give Zhao Feng a feeling of intelligence. For example, when Zhao Feng went to a restaurant to eat, he just got up from the sofa and walked away, and the movie playback interface automatically paused. The lights in the room also lit up wherever Zhao Feng walked. There is also an intelligent butler display interface on the wall, including temperature, weather, indoor PM 2.5, and so on. Don't be too powerful. Speaking of which, when I came by car just now, I was covered in sweat. Although I blew the air conditioning in the room for a while, there was still a slight smell of sweat on my body. Pop. Zhao Feng snapped his fingers. Prepare shower water. In less than 10 seconds, the voice of the smart butler rings. Okay. Sir, your shower water has been drained. Zhao Feng walked into the bathroom and saw the spacious bathtub at a glance. I tried the water temperature and it was indeed just right. I took a bath and got up from the bathtub. It has to be said that taking a bath in this oval bathtub, which can accommodate 2 people, is simply comfortable to fly. The clothes were also thrown into the washing machine just now. Zhao Feng had just dried himself to get them, but found that the hoodie and pants had already been dried. It's simply amazing. Zhao Feng's satisfaction in his heart is indescribable. Sure enough, technology has made life better. Putting on his clothes, Zhao Feng suddenly felt a refreshing sensation throughout his body. Glancing at the time, it was already past 6 o'clock in the evening without realizing it. Because Zhao Feng had lunch late, he is not hungry yet. Just start thinking about what you need to do next. Although the system introduces that check.in can be done every day, the items obtained during check-in are completely random. So, besides this house, Zhao Feng is essentially the otaku who enjoys playing PC games and watching dramas. Especially the balance on the phone, even the property fees here are not enough. Tang Chen EP1-10's property management fee is over 160,000 yuan per year, nearly 170,000 yuan. Not to mention Zhao Feng's current balance, even his previous annual salary is not enough. Thinking of this, Zhao Feng couldn't help feeling a bit depressed. However, the thought of being able to sign in tomorrow made me feel a little more at ease. By the way, living in such a luxurious mansion, what else do you need a bicycle for? After watching the movie, it happened to be around 8 o'clock. Feeling a bit hungry, Zhao Feng went downstairs and, under the escort of Wang Qinggong, served Tang Chen's first grade. He casually found a restaurant around to have some, and then went straight home. I went to the video game room and opened my computer to play games for a while. Zhao Feng found that the storage capacity of these computers is particularly large, as if they are all 8T solid-state drives. As for the configuration, it should also be the best. Sure enough, I tried a Total War 3 Kingdoms game, and the internet speed was a lever. It will take some time to download from the 3 Kingdoms War. However, it seems that the internet speed at home is particularly fast, and it was quickly fixed. After playing Total War 3 for a while, Zhao Feng looked at the computer screen and couldn't help but exclaim in his heart. Only expensive things. There's nothing wrong with it. At 10:30, Zhao Feng went to bed and fell asleep. In his sleep, Zhao Feng dreamt of several girls lying on his big bed. I just didn't see their specific appearance clearly. However, their figures are quite good, with each one having a front convex and back curled shape, with a graceful concavity and convexity. When have you ever been so passionate about your thoughts? That's ridiculous. Zhao Feng roasted about himself while enjoying the fragrant nephrite. At this moment, the woman in her arms suddenly turned around. When Zhao Feng saw the woman's face, he suddenly stood up. Knock inside. Why is the landlady riding on a horse? Zhao Feng wished he could call the police immediately and say, "These women crave my body." After scanning around and confirming that there were no landlords, Zhao Feng breathed a sigh of relief. This is not a spring dream for TM, stepping on a horse is a nightmare. Wiped off the cold sweat that had just risen from my forehead. Zhao Feng hurriedly got up and went to wash up. I dare not sleep too much. However, the sky outside has already begun to brighten, and around 6 o'clock, the red sun outside has just risen. Shining on the shimmering river surface, it's really beautiful. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Reward 1 million for the second check.in. Seeking investment. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Second check.in rewards 1 million. Seeking investment, seeking recommended votes. Twisted my arm. Hiss. It seems like it's not a dream. Trying to call out the system, looking at the deep blue system interface, Zhao Feng silently read in. Successful check.in. Congratulations to the host for receiving 1 million yuan in cash. Listening to the system's improvement. Zhao Feng was immediately overjoyed. What do you really want to do? With this 1 million yuan, I directly returned the rented house today, and the landlady who saved me had ulterior motives towards me. At this moment, Zhao Feng's phone suddenly vibrated with a buzzing sound. Picking up my phone and taking a glance, I suddenly realized that it was the arrival information of my bank card. Your bank card account ending in 6427 received a deposit of 1 million yuan on November 3 at 7:32 a.m., with a current balance of 1,286.46 yuan, Industrial and Commercial Bank of China. Zhao Feng read the entire text message word for word, and his heart was filled with joy. However, in the blink of an eye, Zhao Feng's heart was filled with a hint of doubt. This money has been deposited into one's own account. If someone discovers it and investigates it, it will become a huge amount of property with unknown sources. Zhao Feng's doubts had just emerged from his mind. The system directly replied to Zhao Feng. The host does not need to worry, all sources of funds have details, and this system can provide US stock capital accounts, Hong Kong stock capital accounts, and Shanghai stock capital accounts. Zhao Feng was even more satisfied upon hearing this. It seems that this system is still very considerate of itself. With these fund accounts, no matter how much reward you receive for signing in, it should be withdrawn from these accounts in the future. Speaking of which, Zhao Feng suddenly became quite curious about these accounts. The system once again sensed Zhao Feng's thoughts and directly prompted that in the future, these stock accounts can be used as check.in rewards for the host. Please look forward to it. Cowhide. Brother. Zhao Feng couldn't help but shout happily. Unfortunately, the system doesn't give face. The host, according to the gender classification on Tianlon Star, this system should be female. Zhao Feng felt embarrassed upon hearing this and had to add, that's cowhide. Girl. System. If the system doesn't respond, Zhao Feng won't find himself bored. Looking at the time, it's already past 8 o'clock. Hurriedly went to wash up. Under the respectful delivery of butler Wang Cheng, Tang Chen's first grade was served downstairs. I took a taxi directly and went back to the suburban community where I used to rent. But he didn't know it was behind him. Wang Cheng's face showed a surprised look, and he was naturally curious about the new owner of Tang Chen's first grade. However, yesterday this gentleman was dressed so plainly, and today he is still dressed so simply and left the door. This shows that this gentleman is also a very low-key wealthy person in life, and naturally, Wang Cheng has a lot of admiration in his heart. Zhao Feng arrived at the entrance of his rented house. At first glance, I saw the landlady wearing a beautifully patterned red dress, with a young man standing next to her wearing the words, Xiao Zhang unlocks the door, unsure of what she was doing with her own door. Stop it. The landlord's aunt actually led someone to pry into her own door, and Zhao Feng suddenly let out a loud shout. The landlady and the locksmith stopped their hand movements. The landlady turned around and saw Zhao Feng come back. Her face changed immediately and she said, "How dare you come back? I thought you ran away." Zhao Feng was too lazy to bother with her. He glanced at the young man who opened the lock and said directly, "Who asked you to open my house?" Upon hearing these words, the unlocking young man immediately knew that the owner of the house had returned. Judging from the demeanor of these two people, it was obvious that it was not appropriate for him to continue opening the door here. He immediately said, "Sir, I'm sorry, but this lady said you owed the landlord and fled, so I took this order. Since both of you are here, you can negotiate and resolve the next matter." After speaking, the unlocking young man turned around and quickly left Zhao Feng's side. Zhao Feng was curious about how the little guy running like a rabbit when he opened the lock, but suddenly he heard the landlord's mother say, "Little brother, leave a phone number. I'll look for you when I open the lock in the future." Suddenly, I felt a chill in my heart. No wonder the young man was panicking when he opened the lock. As Zhao Feng looked at the landlady's attitude of wanting to chase after her, he wondered how hungry and thirsty she was. Thinking of saving a person's life is better than being a level 7 butcher. Zhao Feng reached out to stop the landlady and said, Aunt Lu, you're not busy yet." The landlord's aunt was stopped and felt a bit unhappy. Speaking of which, she was indeed at a loss today. Even if Zhao Feng owed the rent, it was not appropriate for the landlord's aunt to directly pry open Zhao Feng's door. This can also be considered a violation of privacy. One by one, Aunt Lu naturally felt guilty. So Aunt Lu just wanted to sneak away while she was about to unlock the little brother's phone. Being stopped by Zhao Feng, Aunt Lu suddenly smiled and said, Zhao. Auntie has something else to do, why don't we talk about it another day?" Zhao Feng looked at Aunt Lu's appearance and felt quite amused in his heart. "I'm too lazy to argue with Aunt Lu, so I immediately said, all right. Aunt Lu, how much rent is in total? I'll make up for it for you." Upon hearing this, Aunt Lu's smile became more sincere. Zhao. The rent for this room was 2,000 last month and 2,000 this month, so the total is 4,000. Zhao Feng took out his phone and directly opened WeChat. Aunt Lu also took out her phone and opened the WeChat payment interface. Zhao Feng directly called 4000 over. Aunt Lu smiled like an old chrysanthemum when she saw the rent paid, but she was also quite calculating. Thinking that Zhao Feng didn't come back last night, she happily took out 4,000 today. Can you earn so much money in one night? The normal way is simply impossible. Did you go to a certain club to deal with the rich woman? Upon this thought, Aunt Lu suddenly became dissatisfied. Where is my mother worse than those wealthy women? Immediately, Aunt Lu pretended to be charming and gave Zhao Feng a lightning bolt. Zhao. Don't go to those messy clubs in the future, can't Auntie take care of you? Zhao Feng almost caused her nauseous cardiac arrest. After spinning around Aunt Lu's words in my mind, I suddenly realized what Aunt Lu meant. Together, I thought of myself as a bird of armor. Lazy enough to talk nonsense to her, he said directly, Aunt Lu, I'm planning to move out this month. I don't want the deposit either. See you later. After speaking, Zhao Feng opened the door directly and flashed into the room. Behind him, the landlord Aunt Lu's face suddenly changed. Come on, now the duck with its beak is really flying. Return to the house. Zhao Feng looked at the room and said that there was nothing to tidy up inside. The most important thing is my elderly laptop that stores a lot of important learning materials. There can be countless high-definition seeds inside. It can definitely be called a treasure. The notebook needs to be taken away, and Zhao Feng selected some other clothes, barely filling up nearly a suitcase. There are also some miscellaneous small household appliances, all of which are available at Tang Chen EP1-10 and don't need to be carried with you. Holding the suitcase, I confirmed again that there are no other things to take away. Zhao Feng locked the door and went directly out of the community to make a deedy, then went directly to Tang Chen EP1-10. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Property management fee of 210,000 yuan. Mom's phone number. Seeking collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Property management fee of 210,000 yuan. Mom's phone. For collection. For recommended tickets. 2 days passed. After 2 days of check.in, Zhao Feng received a daily check.in reward of 1 million cash. So, my savings successfully turned into 2,995,286 yuan. It can be said that it is very comfortable. Zhao Feng originally thought that the rewards for daily check.in were random, but the system gave him an explanation that there may be random components in the rewards for daily check.in, but the basic check.in rewards are 1 million cash, and unexpected super rewards will appear every month during check.in. After understanding these things, Zhao Feng also calmed down. Zhao Feng is not a person with delusions of persecution. At least if it weren't for the system, I would still be stuck in that small rental room due to rent and work. I wouldn't have lived in such a luxurious or even magical mansion, and my bank balance wouldn't have increased so much. So, Zhao Feng is still very grateful for the system that brought all of this. These past few days, Zhao Feng's house has not been idle at home, so he has understood some of the hidden functions in the house. It has to be said that staying in such a luxurious mansion, Zhao Feng feels that even if it's one house for a whole year, it's not a problem. This day. At 9 o'clock in the morning, Zhao Feng woke up and got up from the soft big bed. After washing up, Zhao Feng picked up his phone and prepared to go downstairs for dinner. I found a message on WeChat. I looked at a stranger and saw the application details sent by the other party. It turned out to be the butler Wang Cheng. Mr. Zhao, I am Wang Cheng, the butler of a building. This is my WeChat account, I hope it's not too presumptuous. Past Wang Cheng's friend application. Subsequently, Wang Cheng sent several messages in a row. Hello, Mr. Zhao. Excuse me. Then, he sent over a picture. Zhao Feng clicked on the picture and took a look. I saw two pitch black characters written in the center of the picture. Notice. Looking down line by line, it turns out to be a notice from the property management to collect property fees. Among them, it is specially marked that Zhao Feng's property fee is over 210,000 yuan, because Zhao Feng's house area is larger than others' houses, so the natural property fee is also higher. After seeing this notice, Zhao Feng thought of his bank card balance and breathed a sigh of relief. Typing casually, can I directly pay you the property fee? Wang Cheng's heart twitched when he saw the message sent by Zhao Feng. Good guy, truly a big shot. Do you not swipe your card downstairs for property management fees? I quickly replied, of course I can. Smiling face, Zhao Feng really finds it troublesome, so he transferred the money directly through WeChat. He also forgot that his WeChat transfer did not have such a large amount. As a result, the transfer was restricted, and in order to open a larger credit limit, there were also various verifications and so on, so Zhao Feng gave up directly. Glancing at the chat interface with Wang Cheng, he said directly, I happen to have something to go downstairs. Let's swipe my card then. Wang Cheng saw no complaints at all and quickly replied, no problem, I'm waiting downstairs. Zhao Feng took his wallet and went downstairs directly. Coincidentally, there was not much happy water in the fridge, and he also needed to purchase some miscellaneous snacks. Taking the elevator down the first floor, Zhao Feng saw Wang Cheng and a woman wearing the uniform of a property management company standing at the corner of the stairs. That woman is holding a POS machine in her hand. Without further ado, Zhao Feng nodded at the two people who greeted him, swiped his card, and left directly. Behind Zhao Feng, Wang Cheng and the female property manager exchanged a glance and breathed a sigh of relief. After the incident, it was already around 8 p.m. when Zhao Feng went home to purchase. Zhao Feng didn't expect to spend the whole day wandering outside today. In fact, Zhao Feng has been considering whether to buy a car or not. Anyway, the balance in the bank card is increasing every day, and even if you spend some money on buying a car as a means of transportation, you can still make up for it in a few days. So, Zhao Feng specifically went to visit the nearby Audi 4S store today. Among them, the Audi RS7 and Audi R8 are the ones who can best get their looks. The former is known as the suit thug, and the silver-gray appearance can indeed make people look handsome. As for the R8 at the sports car level, there is no need to say more. But after hesitating for a while, Zhao Feng felt like he had to wait a little longer. I don't know what I'm waiting for, I just want to wait a little longer. In the quiet of the night, without realizing it, it was already 9 p.m. Zhao Feng suddenly remembered his parents at home. With the help of the system, one's own life has undergone such a significant change. As the saying goes, one person deserves justice, and the rooster and the dog ascend to heaven. Zhao Feng certainly wants to bring a good life to his parents as well. So, after thinking for a while, Zhao Feng felt that the excuse given by the system was the most appropriate. Just talk about the money you earn from trading stocks. It's not a big deal to ask the system for a few screenshots of stock account transactions. The second person may not be able to understand, but it's definitely not a problem to fool them. Thinking of this, Zhao Feng picked up his phone and called his mother back directly. A brief burst of busyness connected the phone. A cheerful female voice came over and said, "Son. Just as Mom wanted to call you, you called her back. Do you think we two women have a deep connection?" Zhao Feng smiled and said, "Mom. Of course, I'm a piece of meat that fell off your body." Upon hearing this, Zhao's mother suddenly became happy and her voice seemed to be slightly away from the microphone. "Old man, did you see that? That's why my son called me instead of you." On the other end of the phone, Zhao Feng couldn't help but cry and laugh at the words. Quickly speaking out, "Mom. I'll give you some money to go back later. You and my dad should eat and drink, don't keep saving." Upon hearing Zhao Feng's voice, Zhao's mother put away her laughter and said, "Oh my, you don't need to worry about your family. Just take care of yourself and eat and drink well when you're alone outside. Your father and I are doing well. You keep the money for yourself, don't you know?" Zhao Feng listened to his mother's voice and felt a slight sourness in his heart. However, he continued, "Mom, don't worry, I can't treat myself unfairly. I've also earned a lot of money during this period. I'll give you some money later and you'll keep it for now." Zhao's mother listened and no longer insisted, Okay. You know my son is filial. Then Mom will keep it for now and save it for you to get married." After hearing this, Zhao Feng didn't say much and said directly, "Okay. Mom, that's it for now." "Hey. Alright. Then you can hang up first." Zhao Feng smiled at the words and hung up the phone. Then open the transfer interface on WeChat and enter Mom's bank card number. When entering the amount, simply enter 200,000 yuan. As a result, just as I transferred the money, my mother's phone call came back. "Xiao Feng, why so much money? Are you doing something foolish?" Zhao Feng knew there would be such a phone call. According to the prepared explanation, "Mom, don't worry. These money are definitely coming from the right path. Do you know how to invest in stocks?" End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Driving a Ferrari with one hand. Seeking collection. Seeking recommendation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Driving a Ferrari with one hand. Seeking collection. Seeking recommendation. Zhao Feng explained to his mother and father for a long time, and it was his mother who believed that Zhao Feng had indeed made a lot of money by trading stocks. "I didn't say it before, it was because I was planning to surprise the second old man. Now, the two elders have already spent all their money and started preparing a new house for themselves, so I naturally don't want to keep it a secret." So, at the end of the call, my mother was almost filled with tears of excitement, especially when she learned that Zhao Feng had just bought a house in the Magic City. Cough. Later on the phone, Zhao Feng's mouth turned bald and he said he had bought a house in the Magic City without specifying the specific type of house. His mother became so excited. The dad on the phone is not much better either, but he is still more restrained than his mom. Finally comforted the second old man. Hanging up the phone was already over 10 o'clock, and we had been on the same phone for almost an hour. However, Zhao Feng is in a pretty good mood now. One night passed. After Zhao Feng woke up, the first thing he did was silently recite, "Check-in," to the system in his mind, successfully signed in. Congratulations on obtaining the skill One-Handed Ferrari. Driving a Ferrari with one hand, Attribute 1. When driving a Ferrari, the driving skills automatically improve to a master level and can subtly enhance the driving proficiency of other models. Attribute 2. Charm increased by 50%, opposite sex favorability increased by 20%, there is a 10% chance to trigger love at first sight. P.S. You are not the most handsome man in the world, but with your Ferrari appearance, please let me call you handsome. Puff. After carefully reading the introduction of this skill, Zhao Feng couldn't help but laugh out loud. Attribute 1 is not a big deal, but adding attribute 2 to this name may make this skill a bit awkward. However, even if it's a bit naughty, there's nothing I can do about the skills I draw myself. Moreover, it is obvious that the most important skill is not just one-handed driving, but rather whether the Ferrari behind it is good or not. As long as there is a Ferrari, without this skill, charm can also increase in a straight line. Now that he suddenly has such a skill, Zhao Feng feels that he should really buy a car. However, driving a Ferrari with one hand seems really cool. If you buy a Ferrari, isn't your bank balance still sufficient? It seems that the current Ferrari basically has a selling price of no less than 3 million yuan. I picked up my phone and checked the internet. Sure enough, those priced below 3 million yuan are all second-hand models. Compared to second-hand cars, Zhao Feng still likes new cars, so he temporarily put aside his thoughts. Later, I checked where the Ferrari 4S store was and marked it. Zhao Feng called Wang Cheng and asked him to deliver a takeout. Wang Cheng received a call and directly called the restaurant in the nearby clubhouse, asking them to deliver a Chinese meal. The price of this 4 dishes and 1 soup is not too expensive, it's just 888 renminbi. This is not the most expensive package in the club yet, but Zhao Feng thinks it's good enough for him to eat, and it's not good to be too extravagant or wasteful. After the delivery staff at the club specially delivered it, Zhao Feng had lunch. I was originally planning to wash my hands and take a nap. But when facing the bright mirror in the bathroom, Zhao Feng suddenly realized that he had a small belly. Although not very obvious, it can also be seen that there is a clear trend of weight gain in the body. I took off my short sleeves and gestured in front of the mirror. I suddenly realized that the appearance of a small belly has nothing to do with my beautiful life these days. It seems that this small belly has gradually emerged this year. This won't work. Although I don't necessarily need 6 pieces of abdominal muscles and mermaid line. But at least you can't have a big belly. Thinking of this, Zhao Feng walked straight to the room next door that was designed as a gym. I ran a little on the treadmill. As a result, in less than half an hour, it seemed like I couldn't hold on anymore. When taking a break, looking back on the past few years, which was in college, my body was relatively healthy. After graduation, I almost sat in the office every day and didn't have much time to exercise, so my physical condition can be said to be almost deteriorating day by day. So now we can say that we are a weak group. This is not beautiful anymore. After taking a shower, I felt a lot refreshed on my body. Zhao Feng returned to the sofa in the living room and secretly made up his mind to exercise. Although physical fitness cannot be changed in just 1 or 2 days. But at least now is the beginning. Zhao Feng returned to his study and started writing his exercise outline while searching for information online. I spent half a day writing, but only a few lines. Pop. Slapped the pen heavily on the table. Zhao Feng looked at the exercise outline he had written and decisively kneaded it into a ball. Labor and capital are not the same as before, why do you make your own outline? I took out my phone and asked Wang Cheng. Sure enough, there is a gym in the first grade club next to Tang Chen's first grade, which can also provide professional fitness services for the owners of Tang Chen's first grade. After asking clearly, Zhao Feng asked Wang Cheng to schedule a time for him tomorrow. After communicating with the club, Wang Cheng replied to Zhao Feng via WeChat with the agreed time. Zhao Feng took a look and tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, Coach Lu from the gym. Put away your phone. Zhao Feng closed the web page and looked at the game icons on the screen. I decisively selected an open-world game in Chinese called Ghost Action Wilderness and clicked to enter. In the past, in that small rental room, I didn't save much money and the laptop configuration wasn't high enough. Many of my favorite games I don't have time or conditions to play. Now I can finally have a good time. It has to be said that games nowadays are really interesting. In the previous section, there was also a game that players jokingly called Big Cousin, which was quite good. Zhao Feng directly purchased and downloaded all these games. Anyway, I have plenty of time, just go back and experience it one by one. Get it? At first glance, Zhao Feng felt like there was a trend towards a game house. Pop. There was a crisp gunshot in the earphone. Zhao Feng controlled the game characters and decisively shot and killed the target in the sniper rifle's field of view. Watching the sniper gun controlled by game characters, Zhao Feng's heart skipped a beat. Don't misunderstand. Zhao Feng doesn't want a Japanese gun. Every boy has a dream of carrying a gun. Of course, except for the female cannon. But except for some boys who can join the military to fulfill their dreams. Others can only look at the network map. But I am different. I will definitely have a lot of money in the future, so Zhao Feng instantly planned a fairly reasonable and legal way to play with guns in his mind. For example, in the future, one can invest in a small farm or estate abroad. Don't be too big, as long as you can apply for a gun certificate yourself. At that time, I can do whatever I want. Hee hee, Zhao Feng touched his chin and sat on the computer chair, watching the game interface. A lewd burst of laughter came out. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. BMW PH4 RACE. Seeking collection. Seeking deduction. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 BMW PH4 RACE. Seeking collection. Seeking recommended tickets. Seeking investment. On the second day, at 7 o'clock in the morning. After waking up, Zhao Feng washed up and found a Nike sportswear from his previous clothes. If this set of sportswear is true, the price would be at least 1,000 yuan, but in fact, it was just Zhao Feng who spent 200 yuan on a certain treasure. Put on sports shoes, these shoes are real, they cost over 400 yuan. Going downstairs, I saw a woman in her 30s and 40s walking into the elevator. It should also be the owner. Zhao Feng and she glanced at each other and passed by in the wrong direction. Outside the elevator, Wang Qinggang helped the owner press the elevator. Seeing Zhao Feng walking out, he quickly greeted him with a smile and said, "Mr. Zhao, you're going to the gym." Zhao Feng nodded with a smile on his face. Accompanied by Wang Qing, Zhao Feng went to the nearby first-class club. After entering the club, Zhao Feng saw a young woman wearing sportswear standing next to the front desk, seemingly waiting for someone. As they walked to the front desk, two beautiful women smiled and bowed slightly, saying, "Welcome." Later, the little beauty on the left first asked, "Sir." "Hello. Do you need anything?" Zhao Feng glanced at two reasonably good-looking receptionists and nodded, saying, "My surname is Zhao. I have made an appointment with Coach Lu." The little beauty's eyes suddenly lit up at the words. It seems that Steward Wang notified a young homeowner surnamed Zhao. Without her notification, the pretty girl next to her who seemed to be waiting quickly walked up and said, "Hello Mr. Zhao. I am Lu Ruoxin. I apologize for not knowing you earlier." Lu Ruoxin also knew that her client today was the owner of the community. When she was stunned earlier, she didn't recognize her, so she quickly apologized now. Zhao Feng didn't expect that the coach recommended by Wang Qing to him was actually a female coach. He was stunned for a moment, then nodded with a smile and said, "It's okay." As he spoke, he glanced at Lu Ruoxin. A well-arched melon-seed face, with a chin that is not as pointed as some internet celebrities, and large and natural eyes, can achieve a stunning appearance. Because I am a fitness coach, my figure is quite good. Under the constraints of tight sportswear, it is quite uneven, especially on the chest, which should have a D, but it is definitely not smaller than C. As for a pair of straight and slender long legs, not to mention it. Overall, she is a beauty. Lu Ruoxin naturally felt Zhao Feng's gaze, and she always felt that her figure was very proud. So, facing Zhao Feng's gaze, he was not shy, but bold, as if showing it to Zhao Feng. "Mr. Zhao. Please come with me." Lu Ruoxin smiled and gestured to Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng walked into the gym with her. Entering the huge gym, Zhao Feng realized that there were not many people working out. Both men and women have it, and together it looks like 20 or 30 people. As Lu Ruoxin walked, she looked at Zhao Feng and asked, "Has Mr. Zhao ever exercised before?" Zhao Feng shook his head and said, "No." Upon hearing this, Lu Ruoxin was surprised in her heart, but her face remained expressionless. If Mr. Zhao has not exercised before, then the foundation for the next exercise is very important. Zhao Feng nodded at the words and then asked curiously, "Coach Lu, don't I need to apply for a card or something?" Upon hearing this, Lu Ruoxin was momentarily taken aback, wondering if Zhao Feng didn't understand how detailed the club's services to the owners were. However, he quickly explained, Mr. Zhao was too worried. The first-class club gym is specifically designed to serve homeowners like you, so homeowners like you don't need to apply for a card at all. All service fees only need to be settled together with the next year's property fee payment. Upon hearing this, Zhao Feng understood. However, Lu Ruoxin later added, however, gyms also offer card application services, which are only provided to friends and guests of some homeowners. Zhao Feng nodded, indicating understanding. In fact, applying for a card here is equivalent to temporarily applying for an identity card for the relatives and friends of the homeowner. Under the guidance of Lu Ruoxin, Zhao Feng selected a machine that he found interesting to watch. It is the sitting posture chest pushing trainer, as the name suggests, this machine happens to exercise chest muscles. After Zhao Feng sat down, he tried to adjust to the pressure he could adapt to under the guidance of Lu Ruoxin. Then I started exercising slowly for a group. While Zhao Feng was exercising, Lu Ruoxin was also observing him. Firstly, she felt that Mr. Zhao was very approachable. Here, the term did not describe a wealthy person, but rather Lu Ruoxin felt that Zhao Feng was portrayed as an ordinary person. If it weren't for knowing that Zhao Feng had a top-tier mansion in Tang Chen EP1-10, Lu Ruoxin would definitely treat him as an ordinary person. Moreover, on the other hand, besides initially paying attention to his own figure and appearance, Mr. Zhao's gaze returned to normal. When he looked at him, his gaze was flat, not at all like some other male guests. Lu Ruoxin felt a little happy about this, but also a little disappointed. After making a set of 15, Zhao Feng suddenly remembered that he seemed to have forgotten to sign in today. I just finished this set of actions and silently recited the check.in in my mind. Successful check.in, congratulations to the host for receiving a reward of one BMW HP4 RACE. When Zhao Feng first heard the word BMW, he thought he had obtained a car. But as the image of the BMW HP4 RACE gradually magnifies in my mind, Zhao Feng suddenly realized that the reward he gave himself was not a car, right? Well, even though motorcycles are cars. But although he has a car driver's license and can ride bicycles and electric bikes, Zhao Feng is not familiar with motorcycles at all. After all, with electric vehicles, there are indeed fewer motorcycles on the streets. But now I don't have a driver's license or know how to ride, but I have given myself such a thing. Thinking back to yesterday's check.in, I received a single-handed Ferrari ride. Zhao Feng's face gradually twisted. MMP. Looking at Lu Ruoxin's face on the side, Zhao Feng sorted out his emotions. Then I took out my phone and checked this BMW PH4. However, upon seeing the introduction of this car from the encyclopedia, first of all, the price is not cheap, with a domestic quotation of 1.6 million yuan. It's twice the foreign quotation. It has the lightest four-cylinder engine in the BMW series, providing strong power with a maximum output of 142 kilowatts, 193 brake horsepower, and a maximum torque of 112 Newton meters. The newly designed muffler can output stronger torque at medium speeds, so it will perform with full power when needed, meeting the power needs of riders during races. Maximum power. 142 kW/13,000 RPM maximum horsepower. 190 PS/13,000 RPM maximum torque. 112 Nm/9750 RPM. In terms of technology and craftsmanship, the HP4 takes the lead by being equipped with the world's first proud dynamic damping system DDC, making the damping system automatically and easily adapt to environmental changes. Multiple modes are available for selection. Rainy and sports modes are suitable for daily roads, while competitive and bald tire modes are suitable for the track. The HP4 further improves the DTC, making everything even more perfect. In the bald tire mode, different degrees of fine adjustment can be made between 0.7 and +7, so the system support and driver control can always achieve the best balance, providing maximum traction and optimal acceleration. DTC, Dynamic Traction Control. The traction control system detects rear wheel spin by comparing the front and rear wheel speeds measured by ABS system sensors and analyzing the data provided by the sensor distribution box, tilt sensor. In this case, the engine controller reduces the driving torque by reducing the ignition advance angle, intervening in fuel injection, and changing the position of the throttle valve. DDC, Dynamic Damping Control. A dynamic damping control system that adjusts damping within milliseconds based on current riding maneuvers and road characteristics through an electrically controlled adjustment valve, based on parameters determined by sensors. DDC will automatically respond to driving maneuvers, such as braking, acceleration, or turning, to ensure perfect road contact. Through mechanical settings, the suspension can be set to a softer setting, 0.7, or a harder setting, +7. Use a 17 mm wrench to manually adjust the spring holder, pre-tension of the spring, in the usual way. Due to the special manufacturing process involved, until 2014, only a few models of HP4 could be mass-produced. Extremely lightweight driving, impressive power, and top-notch handling all contribute to the ultimate performance. The new HP4 adopts a 4-cylinder model for the first time, interpreting this concept. On the basis of RR, a motorcycle with excellent craftsmanship technology has been launched. The highest quality materials and top-notch design together create this high-performance product. After carefully reading so many encyclopedia introductions above, Zhao Feng is still in a state of confusion. P.S. There are many encyclopedia introductions in this chapter, so it is 2,500 words. I hope everyone can take it easy. In addition, the author searched for the selling price but couldn't find it. If anyone can point it out, the author will immediately modify it. Thank you all for your support. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. The Tallness of Rich People, recommended for 500 collections and 300 collections. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. The Tallness of Rich People, recommended for 500 collections and 300 upgrades. Seeking collections and recommended tickets. Zhao Feng was so angry that he wanted to throw the table. But standing next to Zhao Feng, Lu Ruoxin looked at it clearly. BMW motorcycle. Over 1.6 million. We really don't understand the world of tycoons. For a moment, Lu Ruoxin's movements became even more careful. Mr. Zhao. Mr. Zhao. She gently called out to Zhao Feng twice, not daring to speak too loudly. Zhao Feng looked up at him after being called back to his senses by her. She only heard her say, "Mr. Zhao, do you have any discomfort? If you are not feeling well, I can call the medical staff for you, or you can exercise again next time." Zhao Feng smiled at the words and said, "It's nothing, let's keep practicing." As he spoke, Zhao Feng smelled a faint fragrance, not very strong, but rather elegant. It should be from Lu Ruoxin's body. I've been drinking Lu Ruoxin just now, and it's not far away. Why didn't I smell it just now? Lu Ruoxin met Zhao Feng's probing gaze and instinctively glanced at herself to see if there was anything inappropriate on her body. But everything is normal. Zhao Feng, who noticed Lu Ruoxin's movements, withdrew his gaze. If he continued to look, he would easily be mistaken for a hooligan. Accompanied by Ziliu Ruoxin, he continued to exercise for 40 minutes, almost an hour. After Lu Ruoxin took the initiative to add WeChat, Zhao Feng left the gym. On the way home, I thought of the caution with which Lu Ruoxin had taken the initiative to add WeChat earlier. Zhao Feng couldn't help but feel a hint of pride in his heart. Look. Labor and management sometimes make girls take the initiative to ask for WeChat. However, when I think of Lu Ruoxin, I also recall her reminder. Although the exercise time was not short today, the training volume was still controlled at a relatively low level. Tomorrow there may be some soreness in the body, but I don't feel particularly painful. Step out of the first-class club. Zhao Feng turned around and returned to his own home. Sitting down on the soft sofa, Zhao Feng opened the system interface in his mind. Seeing the system gives oneself the leisure to enjoy life. Zhao Feng didn't curse at her. After all, the check.in rewards are completely random, even though the two check.in rewards from yesterday and today together look like a show of fun. Thanks to boasting that the dog system has a conscience, I didn't expect this guy with thick eyebrows and big eyes to not rely on music scores. The system is a somewhat conscientious dog system. But the rewards cannot be said to be bad things. For example, today's BMW HP4 motorcycle is limited to 750 units globally, with a price of less than 2 million yuan. However, if collected, it will definitely add value. Moreover, no boy has a motorcycle dream, it's just that conditions do not allow it. Zhao Feng thought it might be time to take a motorcycle driver's license another day. Can't you use the skill of driving a Ferrari with one hand to drive the BMW HP4? Shake your head and quickly give up this naughty operation. Zhao Feng doesn't want himself to be thrown upside down. Looking at the BMW HP4 in the system space, Zhao Feng felt that if he silently recited it, he shouldn't just appear in front of him, right? Silent recitation manifests itself. A file bag appeared directly on the coffee table in front of Zhao Feng, who was about to reach out and pick it up. I heard my phone vibrate. Then the interface lit up and an unknown phone number was dialed in. Zhao Feng picked up his phone and glanced at it in confusion. Then directly answer the phone. Before we could speak, we heard a male voice on the phone. Mr. Zhao. Hello. The BMW HP4 you ordered from our company has arrived outside the Tang Chen first-class residential area. We can't enter now. Do you think you should come out to pick it up? Upon hearing this, Zhao Feng said directly, hello. I will call the property management immediately. Please wait a moment. The other party. Okay. Mr. Zhao. After hanging up the phone, Zhao Feng called Wang Cheng and said something. After receiving the phone call, Wang Cheng quickly notified the property management at the door to confirm the identity of the delivery personnel, and then sent several security personnel to follow in. In less than 2 minutes, 3 security guards followed the truck transporting the BMW HP4 RACE into the community and arrived at the underground garage entrance of Building 1. The area was quite spacious, and even if a truck was parked, it would not hinder the entry and exit of garage vehicles and personnel. Zhao Feng also put on his shoes and came up directly from downstairs. As soon as I left, I saw the parked container cargo, as well as 4 delivery staff and 3 security guards standing in front of the container truck. When 3 security guards saw Zhao Feng, they quickly approached and said, "Hello Mr. Zhao." Zhao Feng nodded, and behind them, several staff members also slightly bent down and said hello Mr. Zhao. Zhao Feng could only nod again. When he nodded twice, Zhao Feng could not help but complain in his heart that although the rich are comfortable, their neck is a little unbearable. Zhao Feng glanced at the man in his 30s and saw the plaque on the left side of his suit. "Hello, Manager Zhou." Zhou Qin, also known as Manager Zhou, quickly smiled and said, "Mr. Zhao, would you like to unload the goods first? Please check if the car is fully satisfactory." Zhao Feng nodded and said, "Okay." Upon hearing this, Zhou Qin turned around and waved to several staff members, who began to move one after another. Open the car door at the back of the carriage, remove the several metal pedals hanging on the inside carriage, and assemble them between the carriage and the ground. After assembly, Zhao Feng noticed the groove on the metal pedal. "I used to think that the staff rode the bike down directly, doesn't it look like it?" Zhou Qin, standing beside him, observed the changes in Zhao Feng's expression. He respectfully said on the side, "Mr. Zhao, our company values the customer's personal experience the most. We believe that every car should be opened by its owner, so we have specially customized the car trunk and these metal chutes. We hope you will be amazed when you open the car trunk and see it later." Undoubtedly a big company, Zhao Feng felt like he was also very tall and upscale after listening to it. Nodding with a smile indicates satisfaction. Two staff members entered the carriage and slowly pushed the box containing the BMW HP4 RACE to the door of the carriage. Hang a rope to prevent the box from falling to the ground and damaging the vehicle body. Subsequently, the wooden box, which was over 1 person tall, was slowly placed on the ground. At this moment, Zhou Qin took a small hammer and handed it to Zhao Feng. As a result, Zhao Feng inexplicably felt that the car had become much more noble. He walked forward and knocked off all the nails on the left side of the box. Two staff members stepped forward and lifted the wooden board away. The motorcycle inside revealed its true appearance. The white and green paint on the brand new car body reminded Zhao Feng of the white clouds and green mountains he saw while riding it in the mountains. Inexplicably, at first glance, Zhao Feng felt like he had fallen in love with it. Then, watching Zhou Qin command several staff members to move down several boxes. After listening to Zhou Qin's explanation again, Zhao Feng became more familiar with this car. Zhao Feng also knows how to use those maintenance tools. End of this chapter. 9, Chapter 9 Wuhan Go. Go China. Add more rules. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Wuhan Go. Go China. Add more rules. At the beginning of the new year, I hope all readers will be healthy and have good luck in the coming year. I also hope that everyone can unite in the face of the new virus and overcome difficulties side by side. Wishing those patients a speedy recovery. Wishing all healthcare workers a healthy working life. Wuhan, come on. Go China. Here, the author offers his sincerest wishes. This book has good grades, and I also thank all the readers for their support. Starting from today, for every 1,000 increase in the collection of this book, add one more chapter. This book recommends adding one more chapter for every additional 1,000. Above, the collection has reached almost 700, unlock and update now. Finally, I would like to request a recommendation ticket. Seeking collection. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Check-in in dreams is too ridiculous. Wuhan refueling. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Check-in in dreams is too ridiculous. Wuhan, come on. Looking for recommended tickets. Looking for investment. Zhou Qin is also a skilled individual. If the process is normal, he will definitely invite the car owner to test drive. But seeing Zhao Feng standing next to the car without riding on it, it immediately made me realize that this master must have just developed this hobby. With such speculation in his heart, Zhou Qin naturally wouldn't ask unwittingly. Instead, he respectfully asked, "Mr. Zhao, do you think we should help you put your car in the underground garage?" Upon hearing this, Zhao Feng regained his senses and said, Could you please help me?" "No trouble. Zhou Qin commanded several employees to close the boxes of the motorcycles. Several pulleys were already fixed under the boxes, but now they have been put into use. Follow the underground passage all the way down to the underground garage. The security guards helped push the wooden box to Zhao Feng's parking spot. Because Zhao Feng's house is the largest mansion on the top floor, there are also the most parking spaces, with a row of 10 parking spaces. And this BMW PH4 RACE, with its packaging and all the tools in a mess, adds up to almost a parking space. After completing the security of the car, Zhou Qin bid farewell with the staff. Mr. Zhao, if you are unfamiliar with motorcycles, you can call me and we can arrange the runway and related services for you. Finally, thank you again for your trust in our company. Zhao Feng nodded with a smile and said, "You're welcome. If you need anything, I'll definitely call you." Listening to Zhou Qin's words, Zhao Feng felt that he knew he couldn't ride a motorcycle. However, his underlying intention was actually to hope that he could learn how to ride a bike before riding this fierce horse. Zhao Feng naturally would not be dissatisfied with this. Glancing at the security guards still standing behind, Zhao Feng asked strangely, "Do you have anything else to do?" 3 security guards looked at each other in pairs, and then one of them said, "Mr. Zhao, we have nothing to do. We stayed to see if you have any further instructions." Upon hearing this, Zhao Feng gave them a faint smile and said, "It's okay, you guys go back." Speak up, Zhao Feng walked towards the elevator with the motorcycle key and a complimentary backpack. Inside the backpack are cycling clothes and helmets gifted by Zhou Qin and his company. Returning home, I tried on this cycling outfit. Although wearing this thick cycling uniform in a warm spring-like home may seem a bit silly, but it has to be said that the style of the cycling suit is still quite handsome, especially the helmet. Zhao Feng couldn't help but start fantasizing about how handsome he was riding on the BMW HP4 RACE wearing this outfit. With this thought in mind, Zhao Feng couldn't help but have some resentment towards the dog system. "Can you give me some strength?" I read it in fragments for a while. Zhao Feng put his clothes in an empty wardrobe in the cloakroom. Speaking of which, it seems like I should buy some more clothes myself. The last time I brought out only a few pieces of clothes from my living room, I have barely enough to wear in the past few days. However, as the owner of a billionaire mansion, I can't keep changing them myself. It's not that I have no money. Thinking of this, Zhao Feng added a stroke to his schedule. Go shopping tomorrow afternoon. Speaking of which, I didn't have time to have lunch just now because Zhou Qin and the others interrupted. Just as I was about to send a WeChat message to Wang Cheng asking him to help order takeout, I received a text message from Wang Cheng. "Mr. Zhao, I have arranged lunch for you according to your habit. Would it be convenient for you to have lunch now?" Upon seeing this news, Zhao Feng smiled slightly. It seemed that Wang Cheng also knew his habits. It was probably from those security guards that he learned the news that he had not left. I casually replied, "Okay." Lunch was delivered in less than 5 minutes. After checking the time, it was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In the morning, Zhao Feng was already very hungry due to exercising, but as a result, he ate all 4 dishes and 1 soup, and added 2 bowls of rice. Throw the tableware into the automatic dishwasher in the kitchen. Zhao Feng lay on the sofa like a salted fish. Watching his stomach bulging from eating too much, Zhao Feng suddenly felt that the road to developing abdominal muscles was a long and arduous one. My will sank for a moment. Zhao Feng quickly regained his excitement. There's nothing that can't be solved by eating chicken in one go. If it doesn't work, then there are 2. After playing games for a while, time gradually arrived at night. Perhaps it was because I ate late at noon and had a little too much, so I wasn't really hungry at night. I made a simple fruit salad and played games while eating it as a snack, which can be considered dinner for today. At 11 o'clock in the evening, Zhao Feng, who had yawned, went to bed and quickly fell asleep. In his sleep, Zhao Feng suddenly had a dream. I dreamed that I was wearing a black windbreaker and riding on a pitch-black racing car. Upon closer inspection, it was my BMW PH4 RACE. For some reason, the faint sense of crisis that emerged behind Zhao Feng kept accelerating his progress. Focusing on cycling, Zhao Feng may have been confused by a dream. Looking at the magnificent scene of the rising red sun in the sky, he silently recited, "Check-in." Boom! A large stream of information surged into Zhao Feng's mind. It's all about the various postures and coughing knowledge of motorcycle riding. At that moment, Zhao Feng seemed to have truly learned how to handle the fierce beast under his crotch. He twisted the gas pedal with his right hand and coordinated his movements with his feet, stretching his speed in vain. In the bedroom, lying flat on the bed, Zhao Feng's hands and feet coordinated to make corresponding subtle movements, while the small alarm clock on the bedside table next to him happened to stop at the number 1, and the minute hand caught up with the number 0. Sleeping slot. Zhao Feng suddenly woke up from his dream. Just now, he dreamed that he had learned how to ride a bike in his dream, and he also rode the BMW PH4 RACE for a long time, until he finally crossed a mountain peak. As a result, there was no road below, and he was about to install it on the rocks when he exclaimed in surprise. Touching his face, he thought it was covered in cold sweat, but Zhao Feng found that there was nothing on his face at all. After looking at the time, it was just past 6:35. Zhao Feng breathed a sigh of relief as he relaxed. After resting by the bedside for a while, he regained his senses and silently recited a sign-in. But it was found that the system was silent. Zhao Feng, who was immediately startled, quickly lost his mind and found that while the system was still there, his emotions slightly calmed down. Check the system space. But I found an extra blue notebook in the space. Upon closer inspection, I suddenly noticed 6 gilded characters on the cover. Motorcycle driver's license. Taking it in his hand, Zhao Feng thought of his own dream and suddenly remembered it. I'll go. He can sign in even in his dreams. This is too ridiculous. The dog system has no bottom line. However, holding this blue notebook, the knowledge and skills of driving motorcycles that came to mind told Zhao Feng that he now knew how to ride a bike. Thinking of this, Zhao Feng couldn't help feeling excited. Hurriedly getting up, after a brief wash, he changed into his cycling suit, took his helmet and went straight out to take the elevator downstairs. Speaking of which, this cycling outfit looks like a handsome jacket, perfect for the BMW PH4 RACE. End of this chapter.